G'day folks, and welcome back to the bush. How good is it? Now we are in a brand new area to us in the far northern Golden Triangle. Far northern, about as far as northern as Golden Triangle gets, because the gods have granted us a couple of cooler days. So we figure, why not head to where it's normally too hot, especially this time of year, and we'll check this place out. Now there's no actual recorded evidence that we can find of there being any crystals here whatsoever, but according to the geology of the area, it's very similar to other areas like Inglewood and what have you, where there's lots of granite around, there's lots of metamorphic zones around. Don't worry, we're going to talk about a bit of that sort of stuff, and we think there should be crystals here, so we're going to hopefully bring you along for the ride. Well, hopefully we're going to bring you along for the ride and discover some things together, hopefully. Fingers crossed. This could be good. We're going to spend a couple of days here, so as long as it's good, we'll spend a couple of days. Might chop and change a bit because we're going to be driving around a lot, just checking out different areas and seeing, usually if we spend a couple of days, we like to spend the first day scouting around and then the second day focusing on areas that we've found. So today we're scouting. Let's see how we go. So we've started the day up on a bit of a hill where the ancient riverbed gravels that you can see around here are all very well-rounded cobbles and things like that, because this was once upon a time an ancient riverbed that has cemented together, and instead of it being the bottom of the valley, it's now the top of the hill. Oftentimes these can be a good place to start because there's a lot of gravel in one spot. But no good so far. So, to talk about the geology a bit of why we're here and what we're looking for, I'm going to nerd out just a little bit. Basically, the area that we're in is pretty much surrounded by granite plutons. Now, granite is a good source of crystals in itself. Or it can be, at least, anyway. What we're trying to figure out is, do the crystals exist in the Hornfels zone or the metamorphic zone, or are they slightly outside of that where the rock has been fractured to open up space for crystals to form, but not heated to the point where it's completely ruined or destroyed everything or altered it completely. So where we started was back there, just outside the metamorphic zone in ancient riverbed stuff. Now we've moved closer to the granite pluton and we're in the metamorphic zone, and it all looks pretty good, but still no crystals yet. This place all looks very, very similar to Inglewood, so we're hoping that some of our theories that we've applied in Inglewood can be applied here for the same result. Just looking amongst the rocks, looking for anything that may resemble crystals. So clear quartz, any quartz with a bit of colour in it, or crystal faces even. Looking for any little thing that might shine back. It's always good to get the sun between you and what you're looking for, so the light bounces off what's in front of you and reflects back towards you. Looking for any little shimmer, of which there are none. Moving on. Now this ain't much, but these are just the little itty bitty tiny indications that tell us to perhaps pursue a little further rather than moving on. Now I still haven't moved on far from where I was before, but little shiny there. Come on, give me that big reflection you gave me before. There it is. That is a crystal face. So there is crystal form to the rock, and this is just a patch of quartz shedding on the surface. Interesting. There's definitely some stuff around. So now that we've found this spot, and we do like it to a degree, we're going to mark this spot on just on Google Maps, just with a note saying that we found crystal forms here, and we'll move on to the next patch. We have travelled about as far as we possibly can in the direction that we were looking to head towards the granite and into the metamorphic zone. And we've travelled about as far as we can before it runs into private property. And strangely enough, from before where it was a lot more, where the rock was a lot more altered, as we've gotten closer it's become less altered. So that's geology for you. But I just followed this creek for 100 metres or so right along the old dry creek bed, and Tay and I found squat. Well, Tay found a feather. That's pretty cool. So we're going to go get a feed, and we're going to try the next little area that we've got marked on our list, on our map. Hey, so we are fed, and we're back at the bush, and we found this really cool little area. Now, I'm sorry I haven't got the microphone in, so it's going to be a bit blowy. But it's much more recent mining, which is something that you don't tend to see every day. There's so much stuff laying around these old workings that would suggest that this was worked fairly recently, because they've used polypipe to de-water this mine shaft. They didn't have polypipe in the 1850s. Check this out though. They've actually used an old outhouse to cover it with. And that is mighty deep. And as well as that, there's barely any mullock around, so they must have been taking it all somewhere. No crystals though. Next. Oh, well folks, it's still pretty quiet. Really not much to report. Always good fun exploring, but it's not really making for the best content. Although we have basically scoured a great heap of workings from where we were in a northerly direction. There's been lots of reef workings, some old riverbed workings like what we're working here, and we're still about as far away from the metamorphic zone as we could sort of be really at the moment. So we won't know until we get back towards those metamorphic zones as to whether that really means anything or not, or even if it does full stop. But so far being away from the metamorphic zone has meant no crystals, not even a glimpse. On that note, we are going to probably head from here over to a spot that's a little closer to this metamorphic zone that we keep talking about, and we'll see if our theories can become realities. Yeah, well, what a wild goose chase this is turning out to be. Just drove another 10-15 minutes back towards where the metamorphic zone is to find some workings that were marked on the geological maps that aren't there. And the sun's getting low in the sky. We're starting to run out of day a bit. Yeah. Still nothing to report. Theories are not becoming realities. We're just driving around out the bush, which could be worse. Hey bro, do you know where any crystals are? Hey bro. Bro. Have you seen any crystals here lately? No?
Show us where they are, just talk to them.
Oh, alright mate, alright. Bro, where's the crystals? Crystals, bro, we're just, A little bit of local knowledge wouldn't go astray, but I'm not real friendly. Have a go at this. We've just stumbled upon some abandoned stuff. What? Like, this isn't that old. What? What a spin out. Agave. What? Little bush hut?
Yeah.
What a spin out. Shed for really short people?
I think just pushed it all in. Yeah. People can't get in there again.
What the hell?
Down there.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that maybe they used to do mine tours here, because there was down there where the car is. There was a sign saying parking and all that sort of stuff. But this is all well and truly abandoned, and there's the old portal. Now, I know that I may not be allowed to go in there, but my curiosity is getting the better of me. I'm going in. And this is the old portal. I don't know what you can see. I know I can't see much. But it's probably too much of a ledge for me to really crawl into, unfortunately. The shit you find out the bush. Now, if you know this place and you know what this is, jump in the comment section and let us know, because this just seems bizarre. It's just so abandoned and there's so much just stuff. Weird, eh? Portal. New. This is the old trommel. That is thousands of dollars worth of equipment. There's no fence around it. There's no keep out sign. Christ, there's still wash in the machine. I mean, that is huge. Like, here's me in comparison to it. Huh? There's the old battery. What the fuck? Hey, shit. These things are basically huge big flywheel here, turns. These little hooky things lift up these rods. And the other side here, that is where the material was crushed. I'm stunned. In the belly of the trommel. There's still so much material in there. Big hopper. And to top it all off, found some old core samples. How cool is this? Look at that. Straight through the slate. No shit. That is cool. Well, shit. That was a day. Well, I can tell you now that we have definitely explored the place and found that there is nothing, that there are no crystals in Wedderburn. And yeah, we didn't find shit. So if you know anything about Wedderburn, feel free to jump in the comments, prove us wrong. But yeah, I'm glad we found that mine shaft there, because that sort of gave us something cool to finish on. And on that note, we're going to finish up today, probably go set up a camp, kick it for the night, and we're going to have a crack at Inglewood tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning. Just stuff.